This is the Radio Dog Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Hometown Bluegrass Show with Kentucky boys Tim Batts and Josh Williams. Tim is a music promoter, radio host, and passionate bluegrasser, and Josh is a 20-time Bluegrass Guitar Player of the Year. This podcast is all about bluegrass music, where they swap stories, crack jokes, and pick on each other. Josh even plays a song or two in each episode. Plus, they sit down with bluegrass artists and insiders for interviews you won't hear anywhere else. It's music, it's laughs, it's all things bluegrass, right here on the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Now, here are your hosts, Tim Batts and Josh Williams.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hometown Bluegrass Show. I am your host, Tim Batts, along with the fabulously talented and lovely Josh Williams.
Wow, thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate somebody finally acknowledging that.
No problem, man. No problem at all. Glad to oblige.
Yes, thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, episode 110 episodes under our belt, and we're still kicking. So,
Wow.
hadn't killed each other yet. And we even put two podcast chairs together earlier and didn't kill each other. So
Yeah, no, we worked well together,
Yeah,
man. I
no
think
doubt.
something tells me this is working.
Yeah, we're trying to make this to a video podcast. So I've been buying some furniture, some things to look a little more like a podcast area. So we're getting there. Just give us time.
We
Give
should
us
wear
time.
tuxedos.
Yeah, that fits bluegrass.
My
music.
mind immediately goes to the scene in Step Brothers when they're wearing the tuxedos in the job interviews.
Oh my Lord!
I don't know why
mercy.
it did, but it did.
Goodness. Well, we got a good episode lined up for you. We've got the great Kristin Scott Benson is going to be our guest on this episode, and super excited to talk to her. And we have made it this far without talking to her, and we just ought to be ashamed of ourselves. So, but we're going to get her on this episode and find out what she's been up to. She's
Yes,
one busy lady.
absolutely.
So what have you been up to? Southern
Oh.
Legacy went to Moorhead, is that right?
Yeah, Moorhead, Kentucky. We played out there in the Bats and Oats Commons there, just right off the campus of the Moorhead State University. Had a great time.
That's out there in Don's neck of the woods.
It sure
ain't it?
is,
And
yeah.
Mike, too,
in
I
fact,
guess.
that's Don's alma mater. He went.
Oh,
He went
okay.
to a college there, Moorhead State University, and but anyway, yeah. And he actually taught there for a while because he had he was part of the bluegrass program that they have there.
I remember him telling us that
yeah.
when he was on a podcast, actually.
Yeah, so it was a good time. It was looking like it was going to rain. Everybody was like, I'm not sure this is going to happen. They had a little place to move it if it did start. It was going to be rain or shine. We were going to play regardless, so they had a little place where we could go do that if need be. And it ended up being just awesome. No rain.
Yeah.
Sun came out before it got dark, and they shot off fireworks afterwards, which was crazy because it was like we were crunching for time. We knew they were starting the fireworks at 9:30, and we were playing Freeborn Man, and I had already condensed the Freeborn Man quite a bit. But as soon as I come out of my guitar break, there was big fireworks started going off. So I just did the last verse real quick and ended it, and we were done. But
You should have started it. Well, I was born in America.
yeah, 250 years ago. Yeah, it was cool because I had my family with me, and my mom went. She doesn't go many places anymore, and I was able to take all three of
that's
my
cool.
children's.
Well, yeah.
And so we had a big time, and anyway, Weldon is just so eat up with it. Like when I'm there, he's standing with me, like backstage. Like he literally got my guitar out and tuned it to hand it to me, and it was really cool. And he came up and he said, "That was so awesome." I said, "What?" He said, "The moment you got done with your guitar break, it was like this big explosion. It was awesome." I was like, that is kind of funny. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. And Gus got his face painted like a tiger, and he was super cute. And then it got to itching him, so he wanted to take it off. So Nana, my mom, wiped it off for him and stuff, but it left a little bit of an orange glow on his face. So we were trying to get him to say stuff like,
Make America great again?
yeah, like, what was it that was, I can't remember the words.
Huge.
Actually, just trying to sound like Trump. And he was like, shut up, I'm not Trump. But it's funny. He did have a little orange glow. So the first thing when he got that wiped off, when we got done with our show, I said, hey, buddy, how you feeling? Where'd your face paint go? And he said, I wiped it off. It was itchy. And I said, well, I love your spray tan. It was a lot of fun, man. It was fun getting to travel.
Yeah, that's cool. You got to take the whole family.
Yeah, I got to take the whole family. And Mom, my mother, has thank you to T&T Repairables up in Spencer, Indiana. My friend Brad Trimble really helped me out. Got Mom a Chevy Equinox that works really well, and he's really taking good care of us on that. And I can't thank him enough. I bought my car from him too. We should maybe talk to him about doing a commercial just because of how much he's helped me out. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so we got to take that little car, and we were so worried that it was going to be super cramped because of the size of the car. It's a small car.
Yeah,
it has a 4-cylinder. Mm-hmm. And with all 3 kids in the back seat, my mom and I in the front, and the back loaded up with a guitar and all kinds of clothes, that thing still got 35 miles a gallon.
Oh, yeah.
And guess how much it took to fill it up?
$30.
Well, it was close. It's $40.
$40.
But $40 will fill that car up, and it'll run for almost 500 miles.
Man.
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome compared to your SUV.
Yeah, my SUV does not work quite that well.
Yeah, and
but
my truck's the same. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but so it's good now that I can, I'll leave mine with Mom on certain shows that I need to save a little money on or whatever and take hers.
There you go.
But thank you very much, Brad Trimble at T&T Repairables in Spencer, Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we lost the great Donna Stoneman. I can't remember how long ago now that's been, but she was part of the Stoneman family. And in fact, she was the person that inspired Rhonda Vincent to start playing. She was in love with Donna Stoneman. And when she actually got to meet Donna Stoneman, she cried because of how big of an influence she was on her.
Wow.
So, but we lost her, and she's going to be greatly missed. The Stoneman family at one point were just a force in the music business, and seems like we've just about lost them all. So, wow. Is Ronnie still alive? Ronnie Stoneman? She was on Hee Haw. She was a great banjo player.
Oh, really?
At one time, when she was young, she was considered the fastest 5 alive.
Really?
Yep.
So she wasn't one of the girls in the short shorts. She was
the one that always had the things in her hair and was ironing her clothes. And
oh, yeah.
That was Ronnie Stoneman. Yeah.
She passed away February of 2024.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, I got to meet Miss Ronnie and spend some time with her, but we lost Miss Donna, and she'll be greatly missed.
Yeah. Well, that's for sure.
But something new to look forward to is I believe there is a music video that is about to be released for Miss Jaylee Roberts.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she's got some new music coming out. And I saw her mom, Andrea, turn the big 6-0.
Oh, yeah, she sure did.
Had a big throwdown party.
On the 12th.
Yep.
I sent her a message and told her happy birthday, and I loved her.
Absolutely.
She's like the big sister I never wanted.
I know it. Looks like they had a big party. I saw Jerry Sally and Donnie Ulysses.
Yeah, I think they pulled off a big surprise party for her.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I figured that's what it was. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you're playing the Grand Ole Opry not this week, right?
No, it is this week.
Oh, it's this week?
I'll be playing the Grand Ole Opry Thursday and Saturday with Miss Rhonda.
Gotcha. Awesome. 2 times this week.
2 time.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure enough, man.
And we still don't have an exact. You still haven't ever figured out an account of how many times you've actually played the Grand Ole Opry.
No, I haven't. I haven't even tried, honestly, at this point. I mean, there's...
See, that would bug me. I'd want to know, but that's just the difference.
I've just taken it for granted is what it is, man. You know, it's just haven't been able to sit there and appreciate what I'm actually doing at the time. It's just... And that's sad, and I try not to do that anymore. I try to really appreciate being there and not just treat it as, you know, another gig, because it's the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, it's
kind of a big deal.
It is. It is a very big deal.
Maybe we should buy. Maybe the Hometown Bluegrass Show should buy it. Isn't it for sale?
You know, I heard that it was.
Yeah, maybe we should do that and make that our headquarters.
That would be awesome, but I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't believe my signature would help on a loan for that.
Mine definitely wouldn't either. So, oh well. Cool, man. Well, you going to play us some music, or do we know the answer to that yet?
We don't know the answer to that yet. It
well,
kind of
you
depends.
have to stay tuned to find out.
That's
on that
right.
One. We do want you to be sure and check us out on Facebook, our Hometown Bluegrass Show Facebook page. We're trying to get to 10,000 followers, and we're close. We're 9,100. So be sure and go check us out on Facebook. We post some video content on there, and Josh gives us guitar tips and lessons and stuff on there. We do the Tony Tuesdays where he'll play the Tony Rice kickoff stuff, and so be sure and check that out. And also the Bats Music and Media YouTube channel. We'll post all that stuff on there as well. So be sure and go give us a like and follow and a subscribe on there so you can keep up with all the latest content that we will be throwing at you here soon, because we're about to, as we go to the video world here soon, we're going to have lots of stuff to throw at you. Probably going to get tired of looking at us. So we'll try.
Yeah, they probably wish we stayed audio.
Probably so. Probably so. Well, we do want to thank our sponsors, the Radio Dog Podcast Network and Hopeless Holler Trading Company. If you want some Hometown Bluegrass Show merchandise, we've got shirts and hats and Bluetooth speaker cups and stickers and all kind of cool stuff on hopelessholler.shop. Mm-hmm. And just click on the Hometown Bluegrass Show logo, and you can buy our merchandise on there. And also want to thank the Bluegrass Unlimited magazine. If you do love bluegrass music as much as we do, then you need Bluegrass Unlimited. It's the leading magazine for bluegrass fans since 1966. Published by the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Owensboro, Kentucky. This monthly magazine features exclusive interviews, music reviews, festival news, and more from the world of bluegrass delivered right to your door.
From legendary artists to the next generation of pickers, Bluegrass Unlimited brings you closer to the music you love. Our listeners can use promo code HOMETOWN for a discount when you subscribe today at bluegrassunlimited.com.
And also stay tuned for music lessons coming from Josh Williams. He's already doing several online, so we're going to keep that going, and stay tuned for more. If you want to learn from the best, then you need to keep up with the rest.
Nice, right. Man. Nice.
So
yeah, and I want to take a minute to say thank you to McEwen Guitar Picks. Our friend Mark Rogers is an amazing guy. He raised an amazing family, and anyway, he builds, hand makes the best picks on the market, in my opinion. That's all I use anymore is the McEwen Guitar Picks. I know it looks like McQuan, but it is McEwen.
That's right.
Yep, McEwen Guitar Picks.
And I talked to him the other day because I've been asking him to get on the podcast here with us.
We need to have him.
He finally agreed to it.
Good.
And he told me that he would, and I told him we wanted him in person so that we could actually showcase his work. And I think it'd be much better episode to have him here. And so maybe he's our first video podcast. Who knows? But
oh yeah, that would be great.
But anyway, so stay tuned for that. But we'll be right back right after this. So don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Josh Williams for Page Capos. The Page Capo is lightweight, durable, and quickly attaches and allows you to change frets with ease.
With controlled tension capabilities, Page Capo always stays in tune. But don't just take my word for it. Page Capos is also used by folks like Vince Gill, Ron Block, Tim O'Brien, Cody Kilby, Tommy Emmanuel, and James Taylor. So don't trust just any capo. Use what the pros use. Listen to the Hometown Bluegrass Show podcast for your chance to win a Page Capo on every episode. Do what I do and trust Page Capos. Order online at pagecapo.com.
The Lake House Inn at Sled Creek has undergone complete renovation in 2023. Our outdoor space is unlike any other at Kentucky Lake. With 2 in-ground pools, 18 rooms, and 4 cabins, we're just a stone's throw away from Kentucky Dam. If you're looking to make memories with your family, this nostalgic inn is for you. Welcome to your lake house, where modern meets rustic and becomes home. Reserve online at lakehouseinn.com.
Looking for expert insurance advice from a team that truly knows Western Kentucky? At Paducah Insurance Agency, we're more than just policies. We're your neighbors, helping you protect what matters most. With locations in Paducah and Benton, Kentucky, we offer home, auto, business, and life insurance with top carriers like Erie Insurance, all at competitive rates. Locally owned and committed to your peace of mind, Jared Morgan and his team are here to help. Call Paducah Insurance Agency today at 855-853-4763 or visit paducahinsurance.com. Paducah Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you trust.
Howdy, friends. I'm Banjo Ben Clark, and you're listening to my good buddies, Tim Batts and Josh Williams, on the Hometown Bluegrass Show. You've tuned in because you like valuable conversation about the world's best music. And if you want more good stuff like that, come on over to my website, banjobenclark.com, where you can learn how to play and purchase anything you might need when it comes to bluegrass-related instruments and accessories. My Gold Pick members over there can access hundreds of lessons for banjo, guitar, and mandolin, with all kinds of resources to help you move on down the road with your picking skills. And if you're looking to purchase something, the deals can't be beat at Banjo Ben's General Store. All there on the same website, banjobenclark.com. Now back to the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hometown Bluegrass Show. We're so glad you joined us on this episode. My name is Tim Batts, along with Josh Williams.
Hello, everyone. Hello, music lovers.
Music lovers of all genres, but especially bluegrass people.
Absolutely.
We're partial to y'all, that's
Very
for
much.
sure. But thanks for joining us. It's been a great episode so far, and we are really excited to let you know that it's just about to get even better. So if you're a fan of bluegrass music, you might have heard of a little band called the Grascals. And if you've heard of the Grascals, you might recognize their banjo player, Kristin Scott Benson. How are you, Kristin?
I'm good. I'm glad to be with you guys today.
We are so glad that you are here. We finally got some intelligence on this show, and somebody that can speak intelligently about something. Right, Josh?
That is so true.
You were stumped. You're like,
Well, it was like this. It needed a little awkward silence for a minute. Like I was just feeling the room. You know?
like there. How's that? Little sound effect there
Oh,
for
nice.
you. But anyway, so what are you up to today, girl?
Well, it's a pretty typical. What is today?
I don't even know.
It's a bluegrass musician. That is a true bluegrass musician. What day is this?
It's typical Tuesday.
So, my days consist of I wake up, I walk, I kind of stumble into the kitchen, and I look at the calendar because we still run on paper, and I look at who do I call first for a banjo lesson. So the days do kind of run into each other. I have the weekday days, which is all about teaching, and the weekend days, which is all about playing.
Yeah, I understand that all too well.
Yeah. So how many students do you have?
Well, that's deceiving. I have a ton of them, but most are every other week. Some may just be once a month. Occasionally, I'll get a really, committed, usually kid who will want to do like an hour every week.
Yeah.
So I usually run about 45 students, but it's not like I'm seeing all of those people every week.
Right.
That would make a very busy week if you were.
That would be,
That'd be hard to keep up with. So that'd be so much.
Yeah, I mean, if you teach, I know you do, Josh. It's a lot more work than just the lesson hours. So you have to my rule of thumb is that about 10 to 20% of your time. So if you're going to try to teach 20 hours that week, you need to plan on another 2 to 4 hours of miscellaneous stuff. And lessons run over a little bit, and then your break gets eaten up. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you can't put one right after the other for that very reason.
You have to have a break. Like I try to do like a 15-minute break after 3. And that way, if I get behind, I can catch back up, or at least run and grab a cup of coffee or something like that.
Yep. That's a good plan. And you mentioned something just a second ago. That should be the name of your next album.
What's that?
Rule of Thumb.
Rule of Thumb. I love that. That's a great idea, Josh.
Not too
At
bad.
least name an instrumental that. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. Speaking of great music, man, you guys have been putting out some good music here lately. The Bensons.
Oh, yeah. So Wayne and I we've been married 26 years. And before you're impressed, it's real easy because we got married in 2000. So I just have to know is it before or after April, and I always get it right. But we had never recorded. I mean, we had played on other people's records together, but had never really done anything together. And when COVID hit, Mickey Gamble at Crossroads, actually it's called Mountain Home, the bluegrass arm of that label is called Mountain Home, but he suggested that we try something together, and we had the time to do it because, as you remember, everyone was at home for a couple of years. So we did the first album, and we absolutely loved it. So we've continued to make records, and it's really been a high point for us.
That's awesome. And it's so funny how you guys have been married for so long, doing all that stuff, but not even realizing that you hadn't taken the time to just sit and do something together. It's so easy for that to be, I hate to say taken for granted, but it kind of is because you're so used to doing other things. And when you get home, you're like, okay, let's just chill and hang. And but it's like, obviously, you guys have found that other world of being able to, we can do that, but let's also record something, make a little money while we're doing that,
Right, sure. It's absolutely true. It was never necessarily intentional that we didn't work together, but it was intentional. Everybody always says, why weren't you in the same band? And first of all, we have a great marriage. And I don't know. I always thought, man, if we were in the same band, that would be fundamentally changing things. And things are really good right now. I'm not sure I want to mess with it, because that would greatly change the dynamic if we were suddenly just together all the time. But the main reason we would have never considered it, even if the opportunity never arose, but even if it had, is we were raising our son. And there were innumerable days that I was gone and he was home, or he was gone and I was home. And what if we're in the same band and that band
both gone all the time?
Yeah, that's a problem, So we really greatly benefited schedule-wise by being in two different groups. But this is kind of the best of both worlds because we are just recording together. And we do have a Benson show coming up in December at the Chapman Cultural Center in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and it's just a rare occasion because we know that Third Time Out is off in December, and we know the Grascals are off, so they asked us to do it, and we can do that. So it's extremely rare that we play live shows, but the recording has been a lot of fun.
Wow. So will you guys put a band together for your live shows? Surrounding you guys?
Man, we are so lucky. We live in this little mecca, this western North Carolina bluegrass area is just so good. I mean, you're 3, 4, 5 people deep in every slot. We have the Asheville area, and we're really not very far to pull from Charlotte. Or, for instance, Sean Lane's going to do the show with us. He's only an hour and a half away. We've got Woody Platt, Buddy Melton. The last time we did it, we had Darren Aldridge and Sean Lane and Tim Surratt. I mean, I play with Darren Nicholson all the time. It is such a rich area. And, man, I got to say, I lived in Nashville for about 15 years, and there's just something sweeter about this area to me musically when it comes to bluegrass, because it's not everyone isn't cannibalizing each other. You know what I mean? it's just a really sweet community. And within an hour and a half, man, we could put together 5 different just world-class bands that was a different lineup every time. It's a lot of fun.
Well, when you moved to Nashville, ultimately you moved to Nashville to work. So
it's true.
That is kind of the point of going there. And I think when you have folks in a certain area that haven't done that, when you do that, you lose the love for what you do because it becomes an everyday chore. It becomes something that you can easily take for granted. Just like we've talked, we did our 100th episode from the Grand Ole Opry. And so that was Tim's first time of being backstage and hanging out, and he was like, this is so cool. And I'm like, I don't stop and really think about, holy crap, I just played the Grand Ole Opry. It's just one of those things where you show up, you play, and you go home, and it's like another thing. Really easy to take for granted. You've got all those people that are in that area that didn't move, somewhere for music to work. And it's like they still hold the love for it. And that, I think, makes a huge difference. You know?
It's a different spirit, and you summed it up very well. Wayne and I have always placed an emphasis on trying not to be jaded, because if I see signs of that in him, or if he sees it in me, because it is a job like any other. There are parts of the year where you're just so busy. In fact, I'm about to enter the portal of busyness in August, September, and October. I'm hardly home at all, but we realize that we're blessed to do it. So if either of us, spots jadedness, we'll sometimes say, hey, we need to back that up and be grateful, because we really are. You just have to be conscious about it. And it's true, it's just inevitable that after you've played the Opry a certain number of times, it's not like it is the first time. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. I think that's just part of being a seasoned pro. But I really do have the attitude that, if I'm not grateful to be there, I should get out of the way so someone who is grateful can have that spot.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. The Grascals, are you guys going to be picking up the touring with the Grascals in August quite a bit more than you have this summer?
Well, we get busier for sure. I don't know. We might have 10 or 12 or 13 days, but I also have the Blue Ridge Banjo Camp, Bale Flex Banjo Camp. So I'm gone a week for that. And then there's a couple of in the middle of the week things that the Grascals have in August, and then every weekend, a couple of days. I'd have to pull up the schedule to even look. But yeah, it's a busy month, and then September is busy and October is busy, and that's the way my schedule is run. I'm blessed to do a lot of extra things. So like in October, I have a banjo camp in Massachusetts for Allison Brown, and in November, I'm doing a special thing. This is kind of cool. They're doing an event for Barry Poss in Raleigh.
Oh, great.
That's going to consume a couple of days, and I'm super excited to get to go do that. So there are always things in addition to the Grascal schedule. So when the band gets busy, and then you add that on top of it, it's just real busy. But we're like squirrels, we store up for the winter, and then we have it made. Like January and February, we're home a lot, so you just take the good with the bad and be grateful for it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I miss Barry. He was, I always liked him a whole lot, and that's cool that they're doing something like that over there for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a celebration of Sugar Hill, and man, I don't know about you, but I can remember when I started playing, it was mostly CDs, but prior to me playing, I can remember vinyl, with that, record labels. It was because there was actually a label on the album. Yeah. And that Sugar Hill.
Yeah, the almost cartoony looking.
Absolutely,
Sugar Hill
and
thing, yeah.
I just remember those records and looking at that label, and when you're a kid and you're impressionable, those things make a big impression that you never shake. So I'm glad they're deciding to honor him and Sugar Hill, and there are other labels. Think about Rebel Records, all the iconic stuff that they put out in Rounder Records. These labels truly are just an essential part of the history of bluegrass, and as artists, we need to be grateful for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you are IBMA's current Banjo Player of the Year. You've won IBMA 7 times. And I'm so proud to know that's how many you've won. I think that's just amazing. And it makes me think back to when we got to share the road with Larry Stevenson. And I always, the highlight of getting to do that was when he would sing Molly and Tim Brooks, and I got to play that with you. That was you playing that, and I loved getting to play rhythm to you on that. That was like the highlight of all of that for me, was getting to do stuff like that with you.
Oh my gosh. Well, you can rest assured that a highlight for me was getting to play that with your rhythm. So it was a mutually beneficial thing. It's just, there's nothing like, as a banjo player, rhythm guitar, and you're a great banjo player also. So you even have the added element of playing banjo yourself. But man, if you've got the right rhythm guitar player as a banjo player, it's just so contagious and infectious.
Yeah.
There's just nothing better in the world, and you can't get better than a tune like Molly and Tim Brooks for that kind of playing.
You know, honestly, I think playing the banjo, growing up and playing banjo, I think that is really one of the things that helped me, find that rhythm. And,
I can imagine, because they're so they're intertwined in an almost spiritual way. I believe that, and it's amazing to me how just instinctively different I play based on who's playing guitar. So when you get with a guitar player who plays like you, it just changes everything, and you immediately assume that persona and that sense of timing. And man, I could get in the weeds, but I remember this really cool experience. I was playing with you and Mickey Harris, who you guys for years, of course, were in Rhonda Vincent's band. And we had done a bunch of shows together with various people. And I was very, very used to, I played with Mickey Harris for, 7 or 8 years. And we started together when we were 19. So he had a lot of impact on my banjo playing. And I was just very comfortable playing with you guys. And then I filled in with Rhonda, and I played with you guys in her band setting, and you guys had a completely different feel. It was like the Jimmy Martin momentum, just relentless momentum that was just a different feel, and it wasn't better and it wasn't worse. It was just different. And after all the times of playing with you guys, usually it was stuff you were doing. It would be Josh shows, and then stepping into that different situation with the two of y'all and immediately adapting to that. It's just such an interactive music, and that really made an impression on me that you guys kind of had this different thing you did when you were playing with her. Still just as cohesive and just as special, but a little bit different than when it was a Josh show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how, and sometimes you don't consciously do it. You just get into a setting and you're used to playing something a certain way. So that's what makes it fun, to be able to step aside and do other things, And but no, I remember those very well, and I remember thinking, this is so easy. Whenever we were playing, it was just. Well, and that's like you said, we've played together a bunch, and we were able to find that that cohesive part of being able to play together and be used to playing together, and we all kind of had a thing. But with Rhonda's music was very much front edge, in your face type of music, whereas some of the other stuff that we do is a little more laid back. But yeah, you get up there and you start doing all of that stuff, and you don't even realize you're doing it. You just kind of, and I'm sure you've probably realized that now by when you play your gig, and then when you go play elsewhere, you realize that, there is a different thing that happens, whether you see it or feel it. When you feel it, obviously, but you probably don't think about it being there.
Right, yeah, and it's so much fun. I remember playing a private party once with Missy Raines and Jim Hurst. And, it was they were playing all the time as a duet at the time. And I mean, I was just such in the bluegrass front end mode at the time. I was still playing with Larry Stevenson. And the first note we hit together, by beat 2, I was thinking, I need to lay back.
Yeah.
I've got to chill out and lay back. And I got to say, it was one of the coolest timing nights of my whole life. It was so good. It was so groovy, but it was so different.
Yeah.
And it was instant. It was an instant realization of what it is. I just love that. I love the different groups and finding that with everybody. And, like I was doing a session. That's another good thing about not living in Nashville. I actually get sessions living here. But I was doing a session, and I asked the guy who was producing it. I said, this was like our 6th song we were cutting, and I said, do you want this to be the bluegrassy cut, or do you want to stay back and keep it kind of artsy? And he was like, no, this one is kind of the one. This is going to be banjo heavy. So for lack of a better description, you move more Terry Balcom thinking, just to give the song that flavor. It would have been great either way, but you just sort of identified this is kind of the only thing like this that's been on the record. They may really want it to be straight banjo heavy, or they may not. They may want it to lay back like the rest of the stuff has. So, it's just, that's why it never gets old. Every day is different. Every situation is different. And, it's just, again, going back to the interaction, you can't put 5 people together. If you change one of those people, it changes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that keeps it fresh is being with different people and enjoying every situation for what that situation is.
Yeah.
That's a question I had, was since Terry Smith retired and Kyle moved in, and the bass is such an integral part of bluegrass music, how was keeping the groove? Was that a big adjustment? It
is. Yeah, we're still doing that. We're still figuring it out, because Kyle is a very middle of the beat player, and he's phenomenal. And, my joke was, when I joined the Grascals, they started songs off faster than I wanted to play them and rushed from there. that really was kind of how it felt. Everything we did in the early days, it was just so fast, and we never did drag. We always sped up, and it was great for me, just trying to build endurance and try to adapt to that. But yeah, it's very much a different groove.
A lot of people, I don't mean to interrupt you, but a lot of people think that that's sometimes such a bad thing. But, it's hard because I remember we did this on one of the songs that I cut on my record that you were on. It was Cold Virginia Rain. And
I love that.
There was a portion, like right when the banjo comes in, it's like, and it wasn't because the banjo sped things up. You didn't rush at all. It was just everybody at the same time, the momentum and the energy went from here to here, and we all did it. It wasn't like one person pulled us one way or another. It was like the whole thing did it, and we used that cut because I loved it, and so did Don, who's actually the producer. He was like, I love the fact that everybody kind of goes from here to here, and it's just it's a building of energy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Did the tempo actually change, or was it just a feel?
It got faster probably by 2 or 3 clicks, I would say, but it was just a build of energy, and it wasn't something. A lot of times there's some banjo players that'll come in and they'll start playing, and then you kind of have to catch up with them. But that wasn't what happened, and it was just a build of energy that I loved.
Yeah.
And now from there, it didn't move, but it was just right in that one spot. The energy went from like a 60% to 100%,
I think
and it's fun. And that's pre-click track days. We've kind of lost that.
Yeah.
In recording, because 100% of the stuff that I play on is a click track, which is great. It saves so much time.
Yes.
And everybody's gotten good at it now. So it used to be hard to infuse energy when you're being dictated by the click track, but I think everybody pretty much has overcome that now, and you're able to just play with it mindlessly but still infuse the energy when necessary. But my favorite bands, like, to me, the best timing that's ever been is the Bluegrass Album Band, and those tracks move.
Oh yeah,
And
they move a lot.
I mean, I've analyzed the heck out of it, and it's a beautiful thing because it's always doing it as a unit, as a group, and there is some. I mean, I think it's a legitimate point to make that the best music, in my opinion, that's ever been cut in bluegrass was not cut with a click track. But I also understand the necessity from it, and I really wouldn't even want to cut without one now. It's just makes it so easy. It just takes all the guesswork out, and everybody just plays to it. And you know, if you're talking too much about timing, it's probably because it's not very good. You know, so everybody plays good with a click track. You just breeze through it. You can cut and paste if you need. I mean, it's just a new world, and
it's just hard to keep energy up that way.
Yeah, I have definitely gotten better at that, but I've been very intentional about trying, as long as everything is going well. Sometimes you just have to play with the click and get through the cut, but when things are moving along, I've really been very conscious about when I'm recording, trying to infuse the energy at the right time to somewhat simulate what happened on the track that you were talking about, but the tempo remains the same. And players have evolved and gotten better at that, but you're so right. I mean, it's just not ever going to feel like it does when you're playing live. It's just a different thing.
Yep.
I think Doyle, when we had Doyle on the podcast a couple years ago, he said something about bluegrass music has to breathe and it has to be able to speed up a little bit, slow down a little bit, but the term he used was breathe, and that's what stood out to me. You know,
I bet his records though, from Josh Swift on, I bet those were click track records.
Oh, I'm sure they were. Yeah. I mean, he cut most of those with Swifty playing drums on it. I think the first couple that he included drums on, I think Mike Rogers was in the band. I think he played them, but Swift is a great drummer too. So I know that a lot of those tracks, you know, he just laid a drum track down.
Right. But man, go back to the original band. The News Is Out with Russell and Scott, and you know, those albums, those weren't click track records.
Oh no.
And man, that's the music that made me want to play.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So there's value in it all. And I think the click track era is more about efficiency than any other thing.
I can still think of right now, like the mandolin kickoff to How Long Have I Been Waiting For You?
Oh, my gosh.
And it's just like the moment that comes on, I can't stay in my seat, you know, which is difficult when it comes on while I'm driving. But
yeah. And you know what? That could be part of the Barry Poss event. You know, going back to
that's true.
Circle back. I mean, he was instrumental in making those records available to all of us. And yeah, I mean, I listened to some of those tracks like Walking Shoes, Don't Fit Me Anymore. Oh my gosh, you talk about just flying. And Balcom is just, I mean, he is just stellar from the first second to the last second. And I just can't imagine that band doing that with a click track and coming off with that kind of energy. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah. When you say that, the one that comes into my mind is Shady Grove. It's just like, how in the world, you know, that one would have to move some. Like,
actually, that's the one I meant.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. That's the one that I meant.
Yeah, it is. It's so fast, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
With the diamond, you know,
yes.
It's just so good. But Walking Shoes is really good too. And I've got a live show of them from Denton, and it's on, I think it's from Denton, and they do everything. There's one track right before Terry kicks it off. He says, you hear Jimmy Haley go, wait, Terry. I guess he's trying to get in tune or something. And Terry just gets in the mic and he goes, go.
Yes,
he kicks off it, and I think that's Shady Grove. But yeah, I mean that band.
1, 2.
So
wait a minute, Terry. Go.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's a guy I miss. And you know, you said something earlier, you know, about you know, doing, you know, kind of bringing in a Terry Balcom type of sound, and that's the kind of stuff that we talk about, you know, is we still mention our heroes and all that. And the cool thing is if they're not already doing it, then a few years from now, people are going to say, you know, then just come in all Kristin Scott Benson all over it, you know.
I just cannot believe that. It absolutely feels like that'll be impossible. But man, that already happens with you. I mean, I hear people all the time talking about your rhythm playing and your singing and also, man, the material that you chose. I always thought, I don't know how much Don and the producers were helping you with that when you were making those records, but I thought there was a maturity there on some of those cuts and the arrangements and that sort of thing. And man, you were a young guy when you started doing those albums.
Yeah, 23, I think, when we cut that one. So,
well, and the one before that I wasn't on,
you
look like you're 12 years old.
Yeah,
you were probably
I was
18, 19.
I was 19, when we
19.
started recording that, yeah.
And I got to admit, when I heard that record, I mean, I wasn't a lot older. I did not even know you were really a singer. I just always had thought of you as a picker.
Yeah.
And when I heard that record, I thought, oh my gosh, this guy is one of the best singers that we have. And I didn't even know he did that.
Well, thank you. And you know, what's funny is when we were talking about this, the last record that I put out, The Modern Day Man, I was, Crow was the producer on that, Crow and Steve Chandler. And, I had...
That's not a bad combo.
No, it's not, and I was worried about, how many instrumentals to put on there or what instrumental, and I was talking to Crow about it, and Crow said, we ain't putting no instrumental on there. I said, we're not? He said, no, this is going to showcase your singing. You're going to sing everything. I was like, okay. Well, you ought to know.
That's right. I mean,
you're the doctor.
Look at the impact he's had as a banjo player. I mean, arguably, and boy, you say something like this, people go nuts. But I mean, you could absolutely argue next to Scruggs, he is right there on that second tier.
Oh, absolutely.
Bela and Sonny and Crow and all these amazing players that, I mean, if you play three-finger styles, Scruggs is the primary influence, but then right after that, you just have these drastically different stylistic musicians who just soared and did their own thing with it. Mm-hmm. But look at what he did with his band. I mean, he was a vocally minded banjo player.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what makes him so special, is that he never lost touch with, let's be real, with what most people want to hear. Mm-hmm. And they want to hear a good song sung by a great singer. And if there's a really awesome banjo break on it, that's good too.
Yeah.
But it really is all about the vocals to Crow if you listen to his band. And I mean, that's just, I'm not surprised at all that he took that approach with your record.
Yeah. Well, Crow was actually, especially in his young days, he was a great singer. Mm. And never got that credit, because...
I don't know that people realize how special his vocals are. Just the baritone parts that he sang, people take that for granted, kind of like a bass player. If you took that part away, it would just feel so empty, and I'm not sure the average listener really understands how special he is.
Right.
With that.
And if you go back and listen to the earlier records, like the Kentucky Mountain Boys with Doyle still playing, even not so much Bluegrass Holiday, but after that, when you've got like the Ramblin' Boy album and the Gospel album and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff, especially in the trios, Crow's singing lead.
Yeah, and he sings higher than you think he can.
Yeah. And
I have never forgotten, because Doyle is such a big influence on me. Again, that's the band I saw. It was with Scott. When I saw the band, that I just thought it just, I was slayed. I just thought I have to try to do that. If you ask him, he's going to say that J.D. was this primary influence. He was his boss to begin with. Mm-hmm. And Doyle, even as a sideman with the Country Gentlemen, everywhere Doyle went, things got better. Right, but I don't think you can discount the importance of Crow on Doyle ever for a second.
Yeah, and it's funny, as I've been with Rhonda and stuff and worked with some other like country singers and stuff, Crow was actually pretty close buddies with Merle Haggard, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and like I remember being out somewhere and Gene Watson was there, and you know, of course this was before Crow had passed away, but he had even mentioned, you know, man, I haven't seen Crow in years. How is he? You know, and I'm just like, I didn't even know you knew that guy. Like Crow knew everybody. So it wasn't just bluegrass that he was, you know, because for the longest time he carried a full country band, steel guitar, drums, you know, the whole nine, and made a pretty big wave in the country world because of that. And I wouldn't say single-handedly, but I would say he definitely had a big part in Keith Whitley becoming who he was.
No doubt about that. Yeah.
But also Tony Rice and Ricky Skaggs, all of those guys, you know, Jerry Douglas, they all came through that school, and look who they are now. And every one of them will tell you they wouldn't be where they are without that time with Crow.
Absolutely. And I think it informs their sense of timing. You know, that's the thing to me about Crow's playing more than any other thing. I mean, his tone. I guess I should say his tone. But he just inspires a sense of timing when he's playing that nobody else in the world has that same thing. I mean, there are guys who are really, really awesome, who are close, but it's still a different feel. I mean, you think about Ron Stewart, who is, I mean, in my opinion, he's probably the best traditional banjo player alive right now, and he's as Crow bound as anybody I know as far as being able to duplicate that stuff. But his sense of timing is different. It's somehow more even than Crow's, and there was just this greasiness to Crow's role and the timing that has just never been replicated. And I wonder, you know, how much of Tony's rhythm, you know, like how much did they inspire each other? Was it Crow primarily with him, or you know what I mean? It'd just be really, and it's impossible to, you know, to place a number on that. But I would love to. I wish we could ask both those guys, you know, that question, because
you know,
they certainly were special together.
Oh, absolutely. And I've asked him that. I asked both of them that, you know, and Tony told me more than once that you know, he learned his timing from Crow, and wouldn't have the sense of timing without his time with him. He even told me of one instance when they were playing somewhere, and Crow came up behind Tony and whispered in his ear, "Hey, you're rushing." And,
wow.
Yeah, and Tony said it kind of made me mad in the moment. You know, of course he used other words, but and he said, but you know, he was right. When I laid back, everything changed, and it went back to how it was supposed to feel. It's like,
oh man,
yeah.
See, it's hard to quantify those kinds of things because we're trying to use words and apply words to something that isn't verbal, you know. But you just think about the intangible qualities of when it's right, and those two guys together. You know, I'm not sure there will ever be a more special combo than those guys on guitar and banjo. It's just insane, and I'm not surprised at all that Tony would say that, because he was so young and Crow was already so established. But then you look at Tony's evolution, and he goes out and he plays with Grisman, and look at how he changed there. So now you've got Grisman's influence, and then Tony does that to the whole world. You know, he inspires the whole world after him. It's just really a beautiful thing when you talk about the interconnectedness of us all. And if we get to be a small part of that community, man, what a gift.
Yeah. We had Flux on back a few months back, and even he talked about one time, and technically he was still with Crow, I think, or either that or he had just left, one of the two. And Jerry went out there with him to California to hang out and, you know, kind of see what he was doing. And he said the moment that they saw, you know, him start playing with Grisman, he said immediately Tony played completely different. He was like, man, that guy can play. Why did he never play like that with us? You know, and it was like something completely different. So, I mean, the moment that he did that was when, you know, that change started.
It's
Just with
so great.
days, you know, even.
And I mean, Jerry was he like 17 when he first started playing with Crow?
He was 17 or 19 or something like that. He was young.
Because he have to like take a break like he did a summer, and then had to maybe finish school or something. But I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, he's Jerry Douglas, and he is one of those guys. But imagine being still in high school and playing in that configuration of musicians. And I mean, it's still special. It is so special that we're still talking about it today. But it's just, you can't possibly overstate the contributions that short-lived band made with the 0044 record. I mean, I was watching them 9 Pound Hammer today, the live TV show. I think it might be the only TV show that we have of them. And you know, and then that launched Boone Creek, and Boone Creek to Doyle's band. You know, it's just this lineage that is a really special thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Bluegrass is awesome.
Oh man, it is. So you just talk about these people forever because they mean so much to us.
Well, you guys, Josh and Kristin, have had a front row seat to that era of bluegrass music, and it's such a cool thing to see. But one thing you got to remember, too, is what's going to be cool in the future is, you know, these younger generation is coming up, and they're going to look up and they're going to say, well, you remember Josh played like this and Kristin played like this. And so this, it's cool to see the next generation as it transforms into what the influence that you two have had on the music as well. So it's really cool.
It's ever changing, man. It's ever changing.
It is.
It is. And I mean, think about, you remember, what did they call you guys? The IBMA Kid Band? Was it All-Stars?
Yeah, Bluegrass Youth All-Stars.
Look at that group.
Yeah.
I mean, that is unbelievable. And you and Cody Kilby both, you know, were banjo players who ended up primarily being guitar, although you've done as much mandolin really as anything. And, I mean, as a singer, I think for sure guitar is always the sweet spot. But, you know, Chris Thiele was in that band. Michael Cleveland was in that band. Brady Stockdale, I still hear from occasionally. It's just you look at that group of kids and look at what all of you have accomplished and how different all of you are. That's one thing I love as a teacher is I teach a lot of these really, really special kids. And even though they take lessons from me and I teach the same overall body and material to them, they launch and become whoever they're going to be. And it's always so different. And I love watching that and just, well, I wonder what they're going to be.
Yeah.
Who are they going to be? Because everybody finds their path.
That's cool. That is cool. Well, Kristin, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us knuckleheads here in Kentucky today.
Man, this was easy. This is just geek out talking about the people you love.
Shoot, yeah.
I know, it's so easy to do. So easy to do. So what's next coming up for you guys? You and Wayne back on the road again next week, or?
Well, Wayne is actually off right now. He's doing some camps, and he definitely has a few things he's got going on individually. But Third Time Out right now is on sabbatical as Russell plays with Allison. So Wayne is loving life. He's at home a little extra these days, and that suits him just fine.
Yeah.
So he's home for a little bit, but again, once August hits, I'm kind of in a black hole for a few months, but that's good, and that's okay, and I'll get to hang out with a lot of my favorite people. I tell you, the banjo world is just so thriving these days, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it, because there's a very separate world that is the banjo world, aside from bluegrass, and I've really kind of wormed my way into that and gotten to know some of those folks, and we could do a whole nother podcast just talking about all the interesting things that are going on with banjo, and some are bluegrass related and some aren't, but some really gifted, smart, just precious people who are playing banjo, and some exciting things are going on in that community as well. So I have a lot of opportunities associated with that coming up in the next few months. So that's going to be fun too. And the Grascals, as always, that's like my family. You know, when I go out with them, it's like going back home.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny when the big shift happened in bluegrass. You know, I don't know why I brought this up, but I did. But I remember the big shift. That's what I always called it, and it was when you left Larry and went to the Grascals.
The musical chairs.
Yeah, Aaron left the Grascals and went to Rhonda, and Kenny left Rhonda and went to Larry. It was just the big shift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was crazy, but it worked. It really worked, and it's just stuff like that. Obviously, is going to happen in the bluegrass world. I mean, there's people are. Bands and stuff are ever changing, and that's part of the beauty of it. But this one obviously took. Of course, we lost Kenny a few years back, unfortunately, and I really miss him, the great Kenny Ingram. But obviously it's worked because you've been there for a long time, and Aaron's been with Rhonda for a long time now, and it seems to have worked. So that's great. And I do have one question for you too. Before we go, how's my Gilchrist doing?
Oh, I'm telling you, I've probably said this to you, but I feel like we got the Gilchrist. Like, it's my favorite. Honestly, I think he's my favorite mandolin in the world.
Yeah.
It's just got the best of all of it. It's got the clarity of, more of the lower kind of sound, but it's also got it's X-brace, so it's got the bottom end too, but it's still really clear, and it plays so easy. I don't think I've ever been in love with a mandolin more than that one. So when it came up for sale, I told Wayne, I'm like, it doesn't matter what he's asking, we're going to buy it.
Yeah,
we got to have it. And people refer to it as the Josh Williams Gilchrist.
Oh, no kidding.
And I'll say. Because, I played a show with Woody Platt and Casey Dreesen and Buddy Melton and Darren Shoemaker the other day, just a couple days ago. And Darren plays a Gil. Yeah. And so we always talk about him. And
next time you see Schumacher, you tell him I said hello. I haven't seen that guy in years.
I love that guy.
He's so
much
good.
Fun. He stood beside me on stage, and I was filling in, so I just leaned on him quite a bit. But he is so fun. Anyway,
hello Wahoo McDaniel, if you're listening. Hello to Wahoo McDaniel.
But we were talking about your Gil, and I'm like, well, it's the Josh Williams. He said, yeah, that's Josh's. That's right. That's how everybody identifies it, because he made it for you.
That's the last mandolin that played with Tony Rice in the Tony Rice unit.
Oh my goodness, no kidding.
That's the one I played all the time. Yep.
I'll have to tell Wayne that. Yeah, it's a special mandolin. Was it always that good?
Yes.
From day one.
From day one. It was amazing, and I hated to get rid of it, but you know how it is. Family comes first, and my dad had gotten sick, and I needed to move to Western Kentucky from Nashville at the drop of a hat, and the timing was just right, and it's blessing other people. And it's funny that I got a message not long ago from Ronald Inscore. He ended up with the Adam Steffi model Gibson that I had, and it's even got my name on it. It still has my name on the case that it was in, and I had number 38 of those, and or 34 maybe, I can't remember. He'll tell you because he's got it. But it was cool that he messaged. He's like, "Does this look familiar?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea where that even went." So he's got that one, and you've got the only mandolin that I played with the Tony Rice unit.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, it's the instruments are like the people, you know where they live. So if you come to see us sometime, we'll probably grab you one of these days if we can get you all the way from Western Kentucky to do one of these shows. And
we'll do it. We'll figure it out. I promise you.
Man, and you're welcome to visit and get reacquainted.
Yeah,
but you can't take her home. She stays here.
Sound like a threat, man.
Yeah, well, I understand. I get it.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, girl, so much. We appreciate you, and I'm glad we caught you now before you get too crazy busy next month. And I'm also very embarrassed to say that we made it 110 episodes without having you on here. So
hey, I'm just glad to be here now. It's fun. It was easy and good conversation, and I'm glad you had me. Thank you.
Yes, we're very grateful to have you, and we hope you come back. We'll have you again.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll talk to you later, girl.
Thank you, Kristin.
All right,
All right. Bye-bye. What a great time to spend with a pretty good banjo player.
One of the best ever.
Absolutely. And it's so cool to see the mark she's made on bluegrass music, and especially just being a woman. It's just so cool to see so many great women in the industry and great banjo players, and she has definitely made a mark for sure. So
and this isn't meant to be a comment. Hopefully, this won't be taken wrong. But there's so much emphasis at times put on the fact that somebody's male or female, and Kristin has never had that going on. She's always been one of the guys.
Right.
She brings the energy like. Anyway, I hope that's not taken the wrong way. If it is, I apologize. But that's, what I mean. It's like she's just always in there with the guys and bringing it. And
yeah, it's almost silly to say, but I mean, really, I don't even think of it as male or female, and especially with her almost, because she's a staple in the industry. And
yeah, she'll play rings around most guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's safe to say that regardless of gender, she is a badass.
You got that right. That is for sure. Well, thank y'all for joining us on episode 110. It's been a blast, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. We do thank our great sponsors for helping keep bluegrass music alive: Page Capo and McEwen Guitar Picks, Banjo Ben, the Lake House Inn, Paducah Insurance, and Bluegrass Unlimited Magazine. Brought to you from the halls of the Bluegrass Hall of Fame and Museum in Owensboro, Kentucky. So thank y'all for joining us. And remember, if you got time to breathe,
you got time for music.
Bye-bye.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Thanks for spending some time with your hosts, Tim Batts and Josh Williams. We hope you learned a little and laughed a lot. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode from the heart of bluegrass. Until next time, keep picking, keep grinning. Tim and Josh look forward to seeing you down the road.
This is the Radio Dog Podcast Network.